Hello and welcome back into the studio and another self-care art journaling session. So this is the page that we're on. It does have some, this is power wax mixed with some gold acrylic paint, and I'm not quite sure what is over here. This is just some under paper that I used for some of my papers in this art journal for this year of art journaling series. And so I have some ideas of maybe what I'm going to do. I want to bridge this gap, and I don't like to do it with paper because it always ends up not working out really well. So I have an idea in mind of using fabric. So that's an idea. And I also think I want to use some of this light green chalky gesso. I really enjoy this gesso. I just forget about it a lot. So I'm trying to use some supplies that I have. So that's really all that I have pre-done in my brain. So I am going to pull out my prompts and mix them up as best as I can. And there we go, and pull a prompt. Make a list of things or events that bring you joy. That's a nice prompt. I like the color. Goes with that. Okay. Make a list of things or events that bring you joy. All right, I think that I want to pull in some cast off gel prints. I used my gel press 3x5 plate and just pulled prints off of it that were, I usually use these to ink up my brayer when I'm gel printing, and then sometimes I like to go in and just take the print off of what's left on here, because sometimes you can get some really yummy goodness off of it. And I think what I'm going to do is find one I like and make my list on that. And so I'll be back with those prints. I gotta go find them, and then we'll go from there. All right, so these are what I found. I think this might be a good one, or this may be a good one. This one's a little fragile. It's a very old piece of book paper. It's very, you can see it's already ripping, so maybe this one's better for some collage. So I think I'm going to cut this one out and make a list. I actually grabbed a whole bunch of actual prints. I think these were just cast off pulls, and like maybe I brayered off or just did my excess on here. I'm not quite sure. But they are equally as awesome. And this is alcohol ink on these, and this right here is alcohol ink as well. So these are all, these obviously I've used some of them, but these are all wonderful options for using in this journal as well, because they all kind of match. There's some of this greeny blue color in here, and I'm going to do my list off of that. So I thought I'd just share that with you because those are yummy, and since I was looking, that may work. Let me get this cut out, and then I'll make my list. And this is actually, you can feel this. This is a chunk of many layers of paint. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna corner around these. just like my plate is. There we go. Okay, and I think I'm going to use this Posca paint pen in the 0.7 millimeter. All right, so this is my list of things or events that bring me joy. 1, my family. 2, time spent with June, who is my family, but it's a different kind of joy. Spending time with my Junie bee and watching her grow. The fact that I get to have so much time with her right now has just been fantastic. 3, being at my art table. Time with a good book. Laughing with my husband, and discovering new places. These are things or events that bring me joy. All right, so I'm going to set this all to the side, let it dry, and I'm going to get started. I think what I'm going to do is take some of these gel prints and do some collage work on both of these pages, not overlapping. So I think that's where I'm going to get started. Now this paper usually really soaks up, this old book, vintage book paper really soaks up the gel medium. So I'm going to be pretty liberal with that. It has been my experience with these really old ones that are kind of crunchy. Whatever this green is, I'm picking it up. It's water soluble, so kind of pulling it off a little bit.
Just remember where we're going, and remember where we've been. We can breathe underwater. Nothing can hurt us anymore. And as long as we're together, it doesn't matter where we are. But I do hear the oceans roar. If you ever think it's pointless, I will remind you that it's not. And the world will dance around us. They wanna know what we've got. We can breathe underwater. Nothing can hurt us anymore.
Okay, now that that's pretty much dry, I'm going to come in with some fabric to kind of tie these two together. And I'm thinking not gluing it in the center because that is going to make everything else wrinkle. And if I have enough, like a little gather in there, then so my thought was to kind of squinch it or even adhere it with a little excess in the center and then come off of this with additional pieces. We'll find the tune-ness here in just a little bit. See if I can figure this out. It was a real basic idea. And we'll see if we can make it come to fruition. Okay. We'll come back to all that. And I'm gonna start off with getting this glued down. This is a thin fabric, so I'm not gonna use Fabri-Tac on it. I'm just gonna use my Matte Gel Medium because I don't want that Fabri-Tac bleeding through. And this I can get to be more manageable, I think. So I'm gonna glue this kind of down further so we have a little bit of a buckle in there. And that way, when we open it, it doesn't crinkle up the paper part.
Can't return back there. Don't you know where the wild roses grow? There are tears buried in the snow. Or do you know the one who loved you so? Where are those words? Where is she now? Gone, she's gone, like the weatherman.
Okay, that was kind of my idea. And then it came to me to use some of this paper texture paste. Last time I used this, it was getting hard. And I have this stencil called Mini Ginko Leaves by Stencil TCW. And I was thinking of going through that with this, but only if it's still soft. Oh, it is. It's still soft. I'm getting some of whatever this yellow is off of the stencil. And I clean my stencils all the time, so this must be reacting to the paper paste. So I'm gonna take my stencil in to go get this clean, get it in water at least. All right, I got this mostly dry. It's dry to the touch, but I think I want to come in and do some coloration of these using Distress Oxide spray in old paper and the Distress spray stain in old paper, and just using the tube of the nozzle.
Beside the stream, then you walked past me, and you saw me and smiled. I will never forget the first time when I saw you. I thought I lost my mind. Blue and faded was blown away and left behind.
All right, I just used some of that chalk, gesso, and light green to push some areas back. I came over on top of the fabric in some areas. And now I want to make these ginkgo leaves pop a little bit, so I have some espresso coffee crystals that I've added some water to reactivate it. And I'm just going to use my water brush to shadow around, bleed out some of this, and darken up areas around them. And that's part of the reason why I came in with some of that green gesso into the fabric, because it's going to give us this really cool look that you see here. Different surfaces are going to give you different intensity and texture. And I really like that diversity. And I just cleaned off my brush, and I'm going to come in here and get this wet so it wicks out some of that color and makes it softer, lighter as it goes further away from the ginkgo leaf. That makes it pop off a little bit more. I like that. All right, I'm gonna set this aside to dry, and I need to start focusing on a focal point. And this really now doesn't really go color-wise with this. So maybe what I do is this goes into a pocket or something that I put up here. I'm gonna go see what I have that might go well with this page. Okay, I found this vintage envelope. It's from 1924 in Detroit, Michigan. And I was thinking of using it like this, where we can put our list inside of it. But I think it needs to be shorter than it is. And I think it needs to be distressed. So I have ground espresso. And maybe glue this on the inside, but I think I want to cut this out. kind of fussy cut it a little bit. Not real tight, but oh, you know what? Let's also do something with this background. Wonder if we can still get it in here with some fabric. I wonder if we could still get it in. Oh yeah, it's plump, but we can do it. It'll be a little bit more plump with this, but that's okay. Let's get another piece for this side. Does not want to cooperate. But this can go on here as well. That'll work.
So you don't know what you're doing, and the walls are closing in. Just remember where we're going, and remember where...
Okay, I'm gonna set that aside to dry. And we can work with that a little bit. I want to mount this.
And as long as we're together, it doesn't matter where we are, but I do hear the oceans roar.
I'm gonna glue this with some Fabri-Tac because I want it to hold better. And there is some fabric underneath. All right, let's look for some words.
And the world will dance around us. They want to know what we've got.
These are some scrappy tags that I made for myself. Preferably something that had something to do with joy. Oh, that's funny. It doesn't have to do with joy, but that's neat. Art enables us to find ourselves and lose ourselves at the same time. Okay, those are two I like. Okay, so maybe I'm not gonna find one that is about joy. Maybe it is just ones that I like. I really hate being accused of lolly-gagging when it's blatantly obvious I'm diddle-dallying. I think that is super funny. And I want to leave the date on this and the Detroit, Michigan showing because I wasn't born in Detroit, but I was born in Michigan. So I think I want to include that. I think I want something else on here. Or maybe it's just going to be too much. I want it very easily stated here. kind of want to go around this. Just bring, it's not really going to be seen by anybody else. It'll be hidden in the envelope, but just feel like I need to bring this in a little bit. And I purposely left no fabric here because it's going to be hard to fold and take up more space. So I did that on purpose, but I might want to come in with some of this and add it to this paper a little bit. Let it bleed into this fabric. Give us some more interest on the inside.
When I saw you, I thought I lost my mind. Blue and faded was blown away and left behind.
Like I said, it's just going to be me looking at it, so I'm not real worried about that. But I do want to get this adhered. All right, I'm going to come in with my iron here, my weight. Guess I got a little carried away with that Fabri-Tac. Okay, I'm going to weigh that down and let this finish drying, and then we'll get this put in. All right, so this is completely dry, and I'm just gonna slide it in. I did get some excess glue, but the neat thing about Fabri-Tac is you can just rub it off if it's not completely dry. All right, I am really happy with this page, and the way that we did this fabric in the center works really well. It's not buckling the pages, and it brings the layout together. And I hope that you have enjoyed this month's self-care journaling and art journaling session. As usual, I will list down below all the products that were used in today's video, and I will also at the very end link to the playlist of all the sessions we've had this year so far. And if you have enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate you considering doing so, as it really helps me out in growing my channel. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
all the days